the headhunters, or they are with the bugs, or something like that. So, but I love my father for who he is, and that's who he is.
The Igorot are among the earliest indigenous tribes to inhabit the Philippines. Known for their deep connection to the land, their unique cultural practices reflect a harmony with nature. Composed of several distinct ethno-linguistic groups, including the Bontoc, the Igorot are with whom the Olosan clan finds their roots.
The Igorot, whose name means mountain people in Tagalog, have a rich heritage that has flourished for centuries in the rugged terrain of the Cordillera Central Mountain Range on the island of Luzon.
Those are the Igorots, and they normally, in the beginning, they were, in the olden days, they were from the hinterlands, so they were from the mountains. So the Igorots are the people that wear the loincloths, for men, and the ladies, they wear the tapis that they have, from the province where they come from. So all of them have different kinds of costumes that they wear.
Traditionally, the Igorot lived in tightly knit communities where family and communal ties were paramount. Their social structures were organized around barangays, or small village units, which were led by chieftains known as datu or bangani. These leaders played a crucial role in maintaining order, resolving conflicts, and upholding the community's customs and traditions.
The Igorot were also known for their vibrant cultural practices, including elaborate festivals, rituals, and traditional dances. One such significant cultural practice is the Canao, a ritual performed to celebrate important occasions such as harvest or peace treaties. Our Canao this evening celebrates the reunion of the Olosan clan and connects us to the rich cultural practices of the Igorot.
But every time they come once in a while, with their with my uncle, with the G-string, and then I know that, oh, that's my dad's brother. And then my aunties, they would come with the the Igorot tapis, and then I know that, those are my aunties because they look different, from mom's sisters and brother.
Spirituality played a central role in Igorot life. Their belief system was a rich tapestry of animism and ancestor worship. The Igorot honored their ancestors through rituals and offerings, seeking their guidance and blessings. These spiritual practices were integral to their way of life and passed down through generations, preserving their cultural identity and connection to the past.
He got all his brothers or sisters coming to the house, and sometimes they'd be playing with us, and they had all those things that they had on their head. There's those beads that they put on their head, and they'd be playing, and then I love to touch their beads and everything. Then I want to take it and put it on my head, and they said, oh, that's not the way to put, so I put it on my head.
Despite the challenges of modernity and external colonization, we, the Igorot people, continue to demonstrate resilience and adaptability. We work to uphold our traditions while embracing change and sacrifice along the way.
As we celebrate our family's legacy, let us also honor the Igorot's contributions to the cultural mosaic of the Philippines and acknowledge our family's role in preserving the wisdom and beauty of an ancient way of life that roots and connects our tribe.
In the 1920s, Ignacio Olosan, our Lolo, saw a poster on a bulletin board saying, "America wants you. Join the U.S. Navy and see the world." He told his uncles that he wanted to join. "Why would you do that?" his uncle said. "I want to see the world," Lolo replied. Lolo met Francisca Pansing Hipona Patacil, our Lola, by chance. Pansing had recently been orphaned and made responsible for her 9 younger brothers and sisters.
When my mom was helping her aunt in Manila because they were lavanderas. You know what lavandera is? They are they wash the clothes for people. And so one day, I guess your Lolo came with his uniform so he can get it, cleaned up or something like that. And your Lola, I guess, thinking that oh, he's the achai or something. Achai means that maybe he's the boy that they send, to do all this, errands for the armed forces or something like that. And she never did think that, maybe he's one of the Navy men.
It's so funny because Mom always says, I think he was introduced by a friend or something, but he didn't really like my dad. That's what he said. I really like your daddy, when because he's short and the thing. And at first he said he told her sister or something. He goes, "Oh, I don't like that old," because Dad is 15 years older than Mom. So he said, "I don't like that old man," because he's old. But then Dad was very persistent, I guess.
On September 18th, 1946, Lolo and Lola were married, starting a life with one another that would stretch both time and space. They bought a house in Baguio City where they would make sacrifices to raise their 9 children, supporting other family members, friends, and neighbors along the way.
It is important because Dad, came back to America when I think it was 1969 when Emily was just young. He came back over to United States and he stayed over in San Francisco, and he was working in there because the money that he had for his retirement in the Navy wasn't enough for all our tuition, and stuff. And Dad sacrificed a whole lot, to get another job in San Francisco, living in this small apartment, I guess, that Manang Angie told us about. And I think he was working in the docks or something like that. And he had to sacrifice that. He had to come back and work so that he could send us some allowances for our tuition. And he said, that the money that he had for the military wasn't enough to fund our education.
Well, there are so many memories with me with your Lola because she's such a loving person. The only thing I can remember with her is she always take us to church every Sunday and goes to church. And then when we talk together about family life and all that stuff and our education, and she always tell us, remember that we don't have no kayamanan or a rich money or something like that we can give you, but the only thing we can give you is your education. So treasure that in your heart.
Because there are some obligations that Dad had for us, he sacrificed himself to come here, considering that he would not be seeing us, maybe coming back and forth to the Philippines, and not seeing Mom as well for a while, until he would come back again and visit us, That's the thing that I would say that Dad has sacrificed. And of course for Mom, the loneliness that he had to raise us by herself, us, her children, her sisters, her brothers, was a sacrifice for Mom.
The sacrifice is that your grandpa has to be away from his family and to be away from his children is a great sacrifice. And your grandma to be alone and to deal with all of us as his children and to deal with that day in and day out pretty much is a big sacrifice. And that needs a lot of patience and conditional love. And, it's a great sacrifice for both my mom and my dad, which we are, we owe that to them, for this life that we have now, for all of us to be in where we are at this point in our lives.
I remember one time, I think my dad was trying to get my mom to come here.
with him so they can be together. But then my mom said, at first yes, and then all of a sudden no, because then, who's going to take care of the kids? And then I'm like thinking of my mom's train of thoughts. She was thinking about who's going to take care of everybody here. So he didn't, my mom didn't come to the U.S. with my dad. But I know when my dad, because I was still very young, and then my dad retired, and then he had to come back here to the U.S. to work again, because he knows that he is supporting my mom's family. And I think that was such, a very unselfish act of my dad, to do that and to be able to be very supportive of my mom's promise to everyone in her family that she was going to take care of them.
As Lolo worked in America sending money home to the Philippines for Lola and their ever-expanding family, their 9 children were raised by family members and shaped by the unique circumstances of their lives.
My grandmother died so young when my mom was also too young. And then Lolo Fortunato lived with us in Baguio. And he's tall, and he's always there, and he always, also helped in the rearing us. And I always remember him just like going into the garden and plant all those lemons, and he's got a tree, and he is very good at that. Just don't mess up with my trees.
Wherever she goes, I'm always with mom. Even the province, we go to the farm, and those were my wonder memories that I have too, because living in the city, it's really kind of like, very fast pace. So in the farm, that's where you kind of like take your time riding the caravel. I did, because one time, late at night, I think we were there, and Mom, I think, came home late for that, and I was crying because, of course, I want my mom. I want my mom, I want my mom. So what they did is they let me ride the caravel.
But as much as possible, your grandma always pretty much would try her hardest to give whatever that we would, if we need something like a dress or a shoes, she would try her very best to give it in a way wherein, that we are all not, okay, this is the favorite, or, this one gets more, but she tries to be more of, equal to everybody, that everybody in her eyes are, I love you all, and everybody's equal into my, the way I treat you guys all. Nobody is higher or less, in the way, in her way of, treating us, as her children.
When work would allow, Lolo returned to the Philippines for short visits. The journey from America was expensive, difficult, and exhausting, yet every return was special for Lolo. To see, smell, and taste his homeland after long periods away was undoubtedly liberating. In America, Lolo was an outsider, but in the Philippines, he was at home.
Being home in the Philippines gave Lolo the chance to sit in wonder of his children who inexplicably grew and changed every visit. While home, Lolo did the thing he loved most, spending time with his wife and children, making memories that would stretch through time.
Well, with my childhood, Dad was gone most of the time, because he was here working. And the one thing I remember was then he came back from the States, and I was already kind of like in the middle school. And then I think I graduated from 6th grade, and he was there. And I was so happy that, at last, I could say, I have a dad.
Lolo, with my dad, he always takes us, when he's over at home, he takes us on a trip, to the river over in La Union. and he likes to, let us swim in the river and stuff. And it's great camping. Like, it's a great way to be with the family.
Ay, pumunta kami sa bundok noon kasi bundok pa noon sa paligid ng bahay namin. Lahat ay 6 na bahay lang ang nandoon na nakatira sa aming barangay. Kaya pumupunta kami sa bundok na maglaro at saka mamitas ng mga bayabas at nagpipik kami ng mga wild berries at saka strawberries, wild strawberries.
Oh, my dad loves to go to the beach. So since the beach was too far from Baguio, we probably go once every 3 months. And he always brings me with him.
Oh, one memory is he always take us, to the park all the time, and sometimes he takes us to the beach on maybe weekends or during the summertime, and we go to the beach, and he goes all the way down into the ocean where you cannot see him because he's a Navy man, so he must have had good training in swimming. But it makes me so nervous because I couldn't see him. I thought something had happened to him. And I keep on praying and praying that I will see him. Then finally he showed up, and there I was. I said, I was relieved that he's okay.
From mom and dad, I always learned about having compromise with each other. I never saw mom and dad really quarrel. I've never seen dad shout at mom, although maybe I did with Uncle Rudy. Sometimes I did. I was not able to control those feelings, But mom and dad were always calm together, Dad never shouted at mom. He always was the very calm one. He would only put a smile on his face, look at mom, and just loved mom the way she was.
Oh, they gave me hope and independence. They trained me well to become a good person. And that's what I do to my kids also.
Grandma was always teaching us. And that's what also I would like to, pass on to my kids is their faith, their love and respect, and treat everybody with respect and make them special every time, don't think about anything that is negative, but always enjoy them, each moment that you have for them. And that is what your grandma and grandpa was so good at, they're always enjoying every moment with everybody, with the family. And that is what I also wanted for my children and my grandchildren, and of course my family.
We are known for having, family gatherings all the time, and I would very much love for that to continue, and for every one of you and every one of us to still keep in touch. I mean, just say hi, hello, how are you? I know everybody has their own lives, and of course other families are being added into our family, so we also have to also accommodate the other families. So, but as long as you guys try to make an effort, to be together at least, or just keep the clan going strong. That's what I would like for you guys to carry, and all the values, the firm foundations that Grandma and Grandpa has taught us.
And so here we are today, a new generation of the Olosan clan, connected so deeply to both Lola and Lolo in indescribable ways. Some of us hold memories with them. Others will only hear tell of their story. But each of us are born of their legacy, both Igorot and Ilocano, perfect halves of a beautiful whole.